Hey everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. If this setup looks familiar, it's because I filmed 3 videos back to back and the sun is quickly setting because it's 4 o'clock and it's winter now. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I love everything foodie and bookish, primarily reading in the nonfiction food writing space, but I do dabble in foodie book fiction from time to time. And I'm here today with my November book haul, or mid-October into November. I think the last book haul I did was for my birthday. You're gonna see a good mix, a healthy mix of fiction and nonfiction. I find right now that I'm reading more fiction because I'm trying to not only just read for pleasure, but also find more additional books that could go into the blind date with a book program that I sell on my website. If you don't know what blind date with a book is, it is a $25 mystery book box where you receive a foodie book. It can be either romance, young adult, or fiction, a snack that supports a small business, BIPOC, or queer-owned business, and $3 from your purchase is donated to fight hunger here in Western New York. I pair with local nonprofits throughout the year to help replenish food pantries and help with food drives. So right now I have 3 different areas you can choose from: fiction, romance, and young adult. But in the spring I will be launching children/middle grade mystery books. I don't know why, but I got a lot of demand for murdery mystery with food, so like arsenic with adobo maybe, and graphic novel slash manga. But onward to the books. There are many, so I will try to go through them as quickly as I can. Let's get started with the nonfiction books that I have received this month. First is Tastemakers: 7 Immigrant Women Who Revolutionized Food in America by Mayuk Sen. I learned about this through Kitchen and Letter Arts, which is a New York City foodie bookstore. All they do is food, and I cannot wait till I can go visit. I managed to get this book autographed, and that is why I love Kitchen and Letter Arts. I didn't have to pay anything extra for an autographed copy of a book. They happened to have been hosting a signing event, and they had copies left over. So I DM'd them and said, hey, I would love to get this book signed. How do I do that? And they said, just leave us a note at checkout and say, signed, please. And they sent it to me, no questions asked. I actually really want to read this in December. It was one of my most anticipated reads, and I am so excited. Second autograph book, again from Kitchen and Letter Arts, is Sandor Katz's Recipes, Techniques, and Traditions of Fermentation and from Around the World. So Fermentation Journeys is actually the title, and then the subheading is Recipes, Techniques, and Traditions from Around the World. So first off, this book is just so cool looking. It's very pretty. Let me read the back to you. For the past 20 years, Sandor Katz has traveled the world teaching and learning about fascinating and delicious techniques for fermenting foods. This is a long-awaited follow-up to the James Beard Award-winning book, The Art of Fermentation, which I think is somewhere in this pile, if not over there, as I have to check my pile. I could have sworn I got The Art of Fermentation this month, too. Oh well, let's see if I find it as I keep going through this. A new 2021 release that I just picked up is My Place at the Table, a recipe for a delicious life in Paris by Alexander Lobrano. I mean, Ruth Reichel does a blurb on the back, so you know this is going to be good. Okay, the next is Workhorse by Kim Reed, My Sublime and Absurd Years in New York City's Restaurant Scene. She works for some of the biggest New York City restaurants. A razor-sharp look at one woman's nearly 2 decades in the New York City restaurant scene, including as assistant to famed restaurateur Joe Bostonach, owner of Babbo and partner of Italy, and what happens when your job consumes your life. Also, love that this is a book with a female voice. Very excited to see what her experience is in the restaurant world. Also, 20 years in the restaurant world, I wonder if she'll comment at all about the Me Too movement and crackdown that happened in the restaurant industry. Another 2021 release from Echo Books is Glorious Beef, The LaFrieda Family and the Evolution of the American Meat Industry by Pat LaFrieda, America's most celebrated butcher, with Cecilia Molinari. This is actually a pretty thin book. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't even think it's 200 pages. Oh, the epilogue takes us exactly to 200 pages. So I do think I'm going to try and read this one also in December. I am a huge butchery fan. I take butchery classes. I'm very, very excited to learn about this one. This is a book I have hauled or talked about before, but I managed to visit my friends Stu and Erin in, oh gosh, was it November? Yeah, it was it was Halloween weekend into November. In the Weeds, Around the World and Behind the Scenes with Anthony Bourdain by Tom Vital. This is the longtime producer from Parts Unknown. And still in the pile, but this is pile 1 of nonfiction, is another 2021 release, You Had Me at Petnat, a natural wine-soaked memoir by Rachel Singer. So I don't know much about natural wines, but I'm super excited to read about it. And I love that one of the blurbs on the front is from Victoria James, who's the author of Wine Girl. Wine Girl was one of my favorite books and favorite reads of 2020, so I really think I'm going to love this as well. Can I just read this whole pile next month? I think I should. I mean, yeah, why not? Okay, next pile of books. 2 I received from the University of Chicago Press, and these are the next 2 books of the Edible series, Edible Insects and Hummus. Both are global history books. I actually have used the Lemon book and Lemon box from this past year. I am so in love with the University of Chicago Press and Rectian Books. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. I love writing to their marketing team and telling them about all the books that I am reviewing, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to have these 2 in my collection. Another book I received from publishers but had no idea why is Laurie Colwin's Passion and Effect Stories. This is a book from, this is not a new book. This is from 1974, and it just showed up one day. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out where this came from because I didn't pay for it. They sent a little packing slip, but it just says this is not an invoice and doesn't say anything on it. But hey, it's a free book and thank you very much for sending it to me, HarperCollins. Kind of strange. Another book, nonfiction, that I found while visiting my friends Stu and Erin was I'm Writing You from Tehran, a granddaughter search for her family's past and their country's future by Delphine. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it sideways. Delphine Minoy. I love this. I don't know if you're new to my channel, you might not know this. I am Iranian American. My dad was from Iran. He left during the revolution. I have never been able to go to Iran because of the political tensions between the United States and Iran. I was in the 6th grade when 9/11 happened, for some context of my age and what I've grown up with. So to have some other granddaughter or someone else go on this journey, I'm super excited to read it. So earlier I said I thought I bought The Art of Fermentation. I did not this month. I bought The Fermented Man, A Year on the Front Lines of a Food Revolution by Derek Dellinger. So this is about home brewer and writer Derek Dellinger, who began a journey that could change everything he thought he knew about fermented food and beverages. For an entire year, Dellinger ate and drank only products that had been created by microbes. Exploring the vast world of fermentation, he became the living embodiment of its cultural and nutritional power, and he became the Fermented Man. The next one up also, I believe, made the short list of the Goodreads nonfiction books, and that is Tastes Like War, a Memoir by Grace M. Choi. This definitely was on my anticipated reads list all the way at the beginning of this year. Grace M. Choi grew up as a daughter of a white American merchant marine and a Korean bar hostess he met abroad. When Grace was 15, her mother experienced the onset of schizophrenia, a condition that first developed in their xenophobic small town that would evolve for the rest of her life. Part memoir, part sociological investigation, Tastes Like War is a hybrid text about a daughter's search through intimate and global history for the roots of her mother's schizophrenia. In her mother's final years, Grace learned to cook dishes from her mother's childhood in order to invite the past into the present, and to hold a space for her mother's multiple voices. And over these shared meals, Grace discovered not only the things that broke the brilliant complicated woman who raised her, but also the things that kept her alive. We're almost done. I finally bit the bullet and decided it was time to actually read the memoirs and history of Julia Child obviously I know about Julia Child, but like I've never actually picked up the books written about her. So I got Julia Child, My Life in France, and The French Chef in America, Julia Child's Second Act. And these both have Alex Prudhomme, who helped Julia write the first book, and then Alex continued the story of Julia Child after she passed with the second book. So I might do a reading vlog all about Julia Child. I have already done a rant review of Julie and Julia, comparing the book to the movie, so maybe I should do another vlog, maybe cook something from one of her books. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in something like that. I've been really inspired by Rosie, who's been baking and vlogging lately, so maybe I need to bring some more culinary skills to the table. And the last two nonfiction books, Double Double, How Tim Hortons Became a Canadian Way of Life, One Cup at a Time by Douglas Hunter. And this was the finalist for the National Business Book Award in Canada. I live in Buffalo, New York, so the Double Double is Dan's drink of choice. Hot, medium, double double. So I'm excited to learn about the history of Tim Hortons. You can get a lot of books about the history of Starbucks, but I haven't seen a lot about Tim Hortons. And the final nonfiction book in this pile is Burn the Ice, The American Culinary Revolution and Its End by Kevin Alexander, with a new afterword from the author. I have seen this and been waiting for this book. It's been out for a couple years now. It just came out in hardcover, and I managed to get this at Open Books for $7.50. So I know I went through a lot of nonfiction books. I should say that the 2021 releases I did pay full price for, but all of the second pile that I just went through, minus the ones I've received from publishers, these I all managed to get used from my favorite local small bookstore, which is Open Books, based in Chicago. Don't forget, as the holiday season comes around, I did pay full price for Taste. No, I didn't pay full price for Taste Like War. I did end up getting that used, but I got that one through Thrift Books. But in general, as we approach the holiday season, it's going to be December by the time this video goes up. Please, 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 please consider supporting your small businesses and your independently owned bookstores. They can place orders for you. Books are also very delayed and very behind right now. I'm sure you've heard the saying, it's stuck on a freight boat somewhere, or a barge. Well, it is. So, maybe pre-order the book for someone, and if it doesn't get to you by Christmas, buy one of those knockout fake books and put the receipt of the book that's coming in it and let people know, I love you, it's coming, it'll be worth the wait. Okay, on to the third pile of books. These are now in the foodie fiction space. First off, I got for full price the young adult book, Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. I have seen Hot Dog Girl everywhere. I don't care if people don't love it. I need to know more about what it's like to be Hot Dog Girl. And then this is a 2021 release, and this is The Donut Trap. Very oddly, a lot of romance, contemporary romances about donuts came out really close to each other. Do Not Fall in Love, and now I have this one. So, 2 books about donuts, maybe a reading vlog just about donut books. Maybe I make donuts. It's not really read and discover then. Read and discover is more for my nonfiction books. So maybe it's just a baking foodie vlog where I just eat something. Or maybe for this, I would probably have to go find a gluten-free donut, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to make a gluten-free donut. Okay, the rest of these I have received used. I have Cub by Paul Kochia. This is a 17-year-old chef named Theo who is gay and has a potential romance, maybe with the owner of the restaurant he's working in. Don't know yet. Very short. I've got Meg and Joe, a contemporary retelling of Little Women, not food related. I know that there's already a sequel out for this book, but I'm super, super excited. I love Little Women. Next is by Snowden Wright, American Pop, a novel. This is a story of a family, the story of an empire, and the story of a nation, and moving back from Mississippi to Paris to New York and back again. A saga of a family, ambition, passion, and tragedy that brings to life one unforgettable Southern dynasty, the Foresters, the founder of the world's first major soft drink company, against the backdrop of more than a century of American cultural history. So again, this could be a really great fiction option for a blind date with a book, but I gotta read it. Everything that I sell within my blind date within a book program is a book I've read. Now, it doesn't have to always be my taste, but I want to at least know that I've read the book. So that when I'm at events like these holiday markets and someone says, ooh, I'm looking for something like this, I can at least kind of navigate them to a book I think they'll enjoy. By the way, if you have recommendations for foodie fiction, foodie young adult, foodie rom-com books, drop them down below. I'm always looking for a good read. Next up is another young adult, Hope Was Here by Joan Bauer, which, wait, didn't I just say this name? Why do I feel like I know that name? Well, I can't think of why I know that name, but I will keep looking. This was a book I got with my friends Stu and Aaron. My Ideal Boyfriend is a Croissant by Laura Dockrill. Do I need to explain anything else? Probably not. Oh, that's why. I have another Joanne Bauer book, Close to Famous. I have a 2021 release I got used that's called Cheat Day by Liv Stratman. I have Betsy Carter's The Lost Souls of the Neptune Inn. Ooh, my camera's getting hot. It's probably going to shut down any minute now. What I Like About You by Marissa Cantor. The Lending Library by Elisa Fogelson. Cooking for Picasso by Camille Aubrey. And finally, The Last Equation of Isaac Severy by Nova Jacobs. I got this from a Little Free Library. That's my whole book haul. Let me know what you think down below. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hopefully this send-off works before my camera overheats. Lots of great books in here. I hope you're well. Wear a mask, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.